Avast there, foolish mortals. All hands on deck and prepare to make sail. It's too late to alter course, and there's no turning back. There be plundering pirates lurking in every cove, waiting to board your doom buggy. Oh, and remember, no flash pictures, please. These buccaneers are frightfully sensitive to bright lights and gunpowder. If you've ever visited our ghostly retreat in New Orleans Square, you've probably taken in some of the local scenery. In fact, there are several more attractions surrounding the Haunted Mansion. But my favorite is probably the most unscrupulous cruise that ever sailed. Some of you may already know that the original Pirates of the Caribbean was not meant to be a boat ride. Walt Disney and his crew first envisioned a museum of wax figures celebrating history's most notorious rascals, scoundrels, villains, and knaves. Buccaneers like Jean Lafitte, Anne Bonny, and the infamous Blackbeard.
Oh no, don't be frightened, children. It's old Blackbeard here, and I wouldn't harm a hair of your pretty little heads. You see, you children are believers, and like pirates, the world needs more of them. Believers. I like to think that many of you listening to me today are really pirates at heart, or pirates in spirit at least.
Did someone say spirit? With all due respect, maybe I should take over for our fiendish new friend and get our story back on track. As the legend goes, in the early years of the 18th century lived the pirate Edward Teach, known as Blackbeard.
Strike your colors, you bloomin' cockroaches!
From the Spanish Main to the Carolinas, he wrought a bloody tale of destruction, unparalleled for its ferocity and terror. Much of Captain Blackbeard's life is shrouded in legend and mystery. His own crew believed he kept a regular audience with the devil in his captain's quarters. Now, the name Blackbeard was born from the man's inhuman appearance. He'd keep his beard tied in braids and adorned with lit fuses, keeping his head almost surrounded by black smoke. Captain Blackbeard sailed the ocean in his ship, the Two Hands Revenge, committing vile acts of piracy. His ruthless behavior would even extend to his own kin. Altogether, Edward Teach was said to have been married 12 times. His 10th wife was a witch known as Alditha. After Teach betrayed his wife, she'd be taken into custody and burnt at the stake.
And as the flames crept higher and higher, and incidentally even higher, she screeched these terrible words. Edward Teach, that's me, sometimes known as Captain Blackbeard, when you come to die, may your body and soul be racked twixt this world and the next. Never find rest. May you dwell forevermore in limbo, always to be alone, or until such time as there be found in you, most wicked of all villains, some spark of human goodness. It's hot.
Very hot indeed, El Capitan. But we're just getting warmed up. Now, there are several rumors about how Blackbeard met his end, but this one is my favorite. As the tale goes, in one conflict, the legendary pirate was shot 6 times and stabbed several more before being decapitated.
Beheaded, they say. Still, your body swam 3 times round your ship and climbed back on board.
In any case, Blackbeard's ghost has a few things he'd like to discuss about the afterlife.
I want to say a few words about ghosts and pirates. You see, I'm both. And that makes me a real double threat artist. Now, being a ghost is a pretty pitiful, wispy, whiny kind of thing. Or nothing. The only company a man can keep is with a bunch of now you see 'em, now you don't creeps. Oozy, shrieky, foggy, undependable things.
Now, hold it. We're not undependable. We're 6 feet underpendable. But if the stories are true, the spirit of Edward Teach would remain trapped in limbo due to the curse placed upon him by Alditha, but could return to the mortal plane with the help of a special incantation.
Cree, Crew, Virgo, Gibber, Kelto, Cree. A spell to bring to your eyes and ears one who is bound in limbo. That's the one. That's what did it.
It's an extremely effective spell that can even be read in the book located next to Madame Leota just moments before our grim-grinning ghosts come out to socialize in the Haunted Mansion. During the same time the Pirates of the Caribbean was being developed, an Imagineer named Ken Anderson was working on a frightening manor where hinges creak in doorless chambers. One of the earliest legends of the Haunted Mansion describes a mysterious figure known as Captain Gore. As the story goes, Gideon Gorlou was looking to build a home along the rivers of America. While little is known about Gore, onlookers would be somewhat impressed by the extravagant estate he built. Work was completed in 1810, and the look of the mansion offered some insight into the gentleman's past, with a weather vane shaped like a ship and a spyglass on the balcony. Captain Gore meant to make the seaside manor a real home. He took a young bride named Priscilla. His spouse could have had anything her heart desired. Gore had but one rule. Priscilla could never step foot in the attic. It was off limits, something of a dead end, if you catch my meaning. On their wedding day, Priscilla wandered the halls of her new home in a beautiful dress. But curiosity is a dangerous thing. The bride took a stroll through the attic, discovering several chests full of riches. A large chest in the center of the room beckoned to Priscilla. She'd pry it open, and the artifacts inside shocked the young maiden. She discovered that her husband, Captain Gideon Gore, was actually a bloodthirsty pirate of notoriety. Now, it's possible at this point that some of you are thinking, could Priscilla have been one of Blackbeard's wives? Well, if truth be told, the bride was actually married to another legendary scallywag. Bartholomew Roberts was one of the most terrifying pirates of the 18th century, the golden age of piracy. He'd sail the Atlantic, plundering ships off the coast of West Africa, Brazil, and throughout the Caribbean. During his lifetime, he'd capture hundreds of ships, adding them to his fleet and holding them for ransom. He was described as a tall seaman with dark tan skin and particularly vicious. His reputation for torturing his captives may have led to his alias, Black Bart. The legend of Bartholomew Roberts spread throughout the 7 seas. In the book Treasure Island, Long John Silver even describes having his leg amputated by a member of Roberts' crew. It's also believed that Black Bart may have been one of the individuals responsible for the infamous Pirate Code. The Royal Navy would hunt this scallywag throughout his career. Some believe the great pirate Roberts was ambushed one morning in South Africa, and the captain would meet his end after being hit by a cannonball. Still, there are other rumors that Roberts dreamt of a life outside of piracy, retirement in a seaside town, a young wife, and a secret hidden away in the attic of his mansion. When Captain Gore discovered his bride in the attic, his mind sunk into a rage. Priscilla's betrayal caused the former pirate to go completely mad. The young maiden screamed as the room plunged into darkness, and she was never heard of again. If the stories are true, Priscilla went from newlywed to newly dead. Some believe that Gore pushed his wife out the attic window. In other versions of the story, he locked her up in a large chest and threw away the key. Perhaps the most popular explanation is that Captain Gore dragged his wife to a deep well on the grounds of the seaside manor and tossed her in.
Ding dong dell. Priscilla's in the well. Who threw her in? Why, the wicked Capitan.
It wouldn't be long before a ghostly bride took up residence in the attic of Old Gore Manor. Priscilla got revenge by tormenting her murderer every single evening. Gideon Gore Lou, or rather Black Bart, went more and more mad, eventually taking his own life. He hung himself from the rafters of the mansion. And any guest brave or fool enough to explore the old well outside might receive an unwelcome surprise when they discover the blood-red hue of the water and the screams of a ghostly maiden. Now, in the end, neither Blackbeard nor Captain Gore became full-time residents of the Haunted Mansion. The waiting list for our ghostly retreat is rather long and includes the names of many wayward spirits.
There have been a few famous ones, like Hamlet's father, and the three in Dickens' Christmas Carol. But by and large, ghosts, they're a sad lot.
That can be true. But the Haunted Mansion does have room for 1,000 happy haunts. Maybe we should extend an invitation to one of these cadaverous captains. What do you think, foolish mortals? Who would you rather visit with the next time you visit our creepy crypt? Would you prefer to spend some time with Captain Gore and his bride Priscilla, or an encounter with Blackbeard's ghost? Let us know in the comment section below. Oh, and why not take a moment to watch one of these other films highlighting the residents of the Haunted Mansion?